Some legends aren't about survival, they're about carrying the dead with you until the wait finally means something. Welcome back. Today we're talking about Sisu, Road to Revenge, a film that shouldn't work as well as it does. If stories that turn grief into motion hit you the way they hit me, subscribing helps us keep going. This movie feels like a fever dream carved out of sheet metal and gasoline. It's relentless, absurd, almost cartoonish in its violence. But underneath all that chaos is something quieter. Something about memory and the rituals we build around loss. The setup is simple. Aatami Korpi, the silent Finnish warrior from the first film, crosses back into Soviet territory after World War II. He's not there for revenge, he's there for wood, specifically the planks and beams of his old family home, the place where his wife and children lived before they were killed. He dismantles it piece by piece, loads it onto a truck and tries to drive it back across the border. The Soviets send Igor Draganov, the man who murdered his family, to stop him. What follows is 88 minutes of escalating mayhem. At first glance, this is just an action movie doing action movie things, and it is, but there's something almost unbearably sad about the central image, a man hauling the physical remnants of his destroyed life across hostile territory, refusing to leave them behind. It's not about rebuilding, it's about refusing to let go. Korpi doesn't speak, he never does. But his silence isn't stoic in the usual way. It's the silence of someone who has nothing left to say because the conversation ended years ago. Every brutal inventive kill, every impossible feat of endurance is just him going through the motions. The legend of the immortal has grown around him, but immortality here isn't a gift, it's a curse. What's the point of surviving everything if you've already lost what made survival worth? The film knows this. Korpi is shirtless in several scenes and his body is a map of scars, each one a reminder that immortality doesn't mean invulnerability, it just means you keep getting hurt and you keep going anyway. There's no glory in it, just repetition. The villain, Igor Draganov, is played by Stephen Lang. With a kind of gleeful malice, he exists as the living embodiment of the worst moment of Korpi's life. In one scene, he reminisces almost fondly about killing Korpi's child. It's horrifying, but it also clarifies what this movie is really about. Draganov doesn't haunt Korpi because he's a threat. He haunts him because he's a memory that refuses to stay buried. And that's where the film gets interesting, because Korpi isn't trying to kill Draganov. Not at first. He's just trying to get his cargo home. The revenge is incidental. It only becomes necessary when the past literally chases him down and demands resolution. There's something painfully human about that. The way trauma doesn't announce itself. It just shows up one day, blocking the road, forcing you to deal with it, whether you're ready or not. The action sequences are where the film fully commits to its absurdity. A chapter titled Motor Mayhem sends masked men on motorcycles after Korpi. Another incoming involves planes. The escalation is ludicrous, but it's also emotionally coherent. Each wave of attackers represents another layer of resistance, another reason why moving forward with the weight of the past is so impossibly hard. Korpi uses his cargo as a weapon. Planks of wood become instruments of destruction. It's darkly funny, but it's also tragic. The very thing he's trying to protect keeps becoming the thing he has to use to survive. There's a moment late in the film where Korpi has to navigate a room full of sleeping Soviet soldiers. It's pure physical comedy, almost Buster Keaton-like. The scene is tense, yes, but it's also weirdly gentle. Korpi isn't a killing machine. He's just someone trying not to wake the people between him and where he needs to be. What's strange is how much the film respects this mission. It never mocks Korpi's goal. It never suggests he should let go, move forward, find closure. It just watches him do the impossible thing, because the impossible thing is all he has left. And in a weird way, that's more honest than most grief narratives. Because grief doesn't resolve, it just becomes part of the weight you carry. The violence is extreme, no question. Heads explode, bodies are crushed, burned, decapitated. It's grindhouse excess. But the gore serves a purpose. It makes the stakes visceral. Every kill is a reminder that Korpi is still bleeding, still breaking, still enduring. The bright red blood isn't just spectacle, it's a visual metaphor for how much it costs to keep going. And then there's the dog. Korpi's Bedlington Terrier is with him the entire time, a quiet companion in the chaos. It's the one thing Korpi allows himself to care for in the present tense. Not a memory, not a relic, just a living creature that depends on him. It's the smallest, most human detail in a movie that could easily have been all adrenaline and no heart. By the time the final confrontation arrives, you know exactly what's going to happen. The bad guy will die. Korpi will survive. But it doesn't matter, because the satisfaction isn't in the surprise, it's in the completion. Draganov's death isn't justice. It's the end of a story that should have ended years ago. What the film understands is that revenge doesn't heal, it just closes a loop. Korpi gets his cargo home. He rebuilds, but the weight doesn't disappear. It just takes a different shape. The house he constructs will never be the house he lost. But maybe that's not the point. Maybe the point is that he tried, that he refused to leave it behind, even when leaving it behind would have been easier. We watch action movies to see impossible things, to see one person stand against overwhelming odds and somehow win. But the best action movies understand that the impossible thing isn't the action. It's the emotional truth underneath it. Korpi doesn't win because he's immortal. He wins because he won't let go. And that's a different kind of impossible. Sisu, Road to Revenge is ridiculous, over the top, and completely committed to its own absurdity. It's also one of the most emotionally coherent action sequels in recent memory, because it knows that legends aren't about being invincible. They're about what you're willing to carry and how far you'll go before you finally set it down. If you want more deep dives like this, don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss a review. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.